iPhone, in the near future, your experience of notifications may change. And this experience will be altered based upon how you are feeling. Apple is reportedly testing technology that senses your mood and then chooses how and when to alert you on your Instagram notifications, your Facebook notifications, all of that stuff. This hypothetical concept promises smarter notifications, maybe less control on when you're seen and or when you are being interrupted by others. So the idea, it's not a fully formed thing yet, but looking at the patents and everything that Apple has been filing over the past few years, the idea builds on the fact that Apple is working on emotion recognition. And there are patents on facial recognition, voice tone, and heart rate patterns. And Apple owns startups such as Emotent, which specializes in reading micro expressions and emotional cues. So the technology is real. What's new is applying it to notifications. When the phone decides that you're too stressed, too calm, or too busy to be interrupted. But, whoa, who wants their phone deciding when they're ready for a message? If the device knows your mood, does it mean it decides when you should see something or you shouldn't? And does that shift power away from you and give it to the phone? Yes, the claim is that it improves user experience. Fewer interruptions when you're stressed, smarter timing for messages. And it sounds like care. You get alerts when you're ready, not when you're distracted or can't handle them. But when the statement, when you're ready, actually means when the machine thinks that you're ready. And that's not the same thing here. And if notifications are delayed or shown differently because of your mood, what does that say to the relationship that we have with this device? It's not just convenience, it's mediation, but mediation from this thing that is making decisions for us, which is an interesting take. But think about the positive side. Notifications that stop when you're in a meeting, or when you're upset, or your heart rate is just too high. The idea of it could reduce stress and make devices less intrusive. Okay, so I don't want to get into a whole free will debate here, but what free will, it isn't about having fewer interruptions. It is the power to choose when I want to look at my notifications or not. Not when this phone chooses for me. When a device hides a notification because it thinks that I'm too emotional right now, whose judgment is that? You're saying that the machine might protect you, but in doing so, it also limits something. It might prevent you from seeing something important or from making a choice in a particular moment. Yes, exactly. And there's another side. Devices reading emotions rely on data, voice tones, biosignals, and facial cues. That data belongs to you, but the system just uses it. Are we giving up privacy so we can have a smoother experience? So the technology itself isn't bad. It could reduce stress, make phones smarter, and hopefully less annoying. But there's risk in how it is used, who it controls, and how transparent it is. And I have a bigger question for you. Do we want a device that reads us and infers certain things, especially incredibly subjective things like emotions? Because this device becomes the interpreter of our current state. And I've said this a million times before, but we might start trusting its response more than our own. Okay, so maybe the feature isn't about just less notifications. It's about who decides when you're ready and who frames that readiness. Because that matters. Because tech that understands you can be comforting, but tech that decides for you can be controlling. And the difference is subtle until it's not.